gentlemen, we are back Monday night instead of Sunday night. We do our live show with everybody on Sunday night. And then this week's going to be a busy week for us because we had obviously two playoff games tonight, one being the Stanley Cup Final where the Florida Panthers absolutely dismantled the Edmonton Oilers. And if you're an Oilers fan, you got to be really scared right now. Because if this thing gets to 3-1, it could be Panthers in 6. So we had that with the Stanley Cup Final, and then we also had another playoff game, which was the only Game 3, I think, of the Super Regionals, which was Murray State taking on Duke. And if you're a big college baseball fan like myself, I mean, I'd keep up with it year round, and then when regionals and Super, just like March Madness, just like the Frozen Four, just like all that stuff, when these college teams start getting into the playoffs, I mean, the only one that doesn't have it figured out is football because they're a bunch of idiots. But when those playoffs start coming along, I am dialed in. So love baseball. Younger brother played baseball, was a really good baseball player. And Murray State and Duke played the only Game 3. So we're going to talk about both of those. But holy smokes. I don't even know which one to talk about first. I think we're going to go with the Stanley Cup just because that one just ended. So it's kind of, I guess it's the most relevant as of right now. But, I mean, we're going to go talk about that Murray State. I mean, as all of you know that watch this show, listen to this show, I drink my liquid deaths while we're doing this. And whenever I'm watching games, I love to write down notes. Like one of my hobbies, like my absolute favorite hobby, is to watch sports and then talk about sports with people or just rant about sports. So love doing those things. And this week, like I said, we got the U.S. Open. So normally during the majors, I will do a recap of every round the day of. So we're going to have that coming later this week. We're going to have our live show. May do a special interview on Wednesday. But I take my notepad when I'm watching these events and I just write stuff down. So what I love to do is just go right down the line with these, with what we're talking about here. And right here, I mean, like I said, the Florida Panthers, how hilarious was it that the Florida Panthers, we're going to get on here and talk for about 20 or 30 minutes. It's late. I got to get up and go to work tomorrow, but we won't be on here too long. But the Florida Panthers, this is what they do. You can say whatever you want to say. You can think that you're the team that's going to beat them, but this is what they do. They give you a little hope early on because you come out all jacked up like the Oilers did Game 1. They take you to overtime, then double overtime, and then they bring you back home, and they bend you over their knee, and they just spank you up and down the ice. It doesn't matter who you have. Skinner, I don't know if he played that bad. It's just I was worried about Skinner, but the Florida Panthers just dismantled him. They just absolutely dismantled the Edmonton Oilers tonight. I mean, how many power plays? I mean, the Oilers had, I mean, obviously got run up there at the end with the fight, but the Oilers before that, I mean, I think they had 60-some power or penalty minutes, 21 total penalties. I mean, it got crazy at the end there because we had the whole damn team. We had an absolute slobber knocker, Donnybrook, going on out there where you got everybody dropping the gloves and the sticks. I mean, the Oilers can say whatever they want that, you know, we're trying to get momentum for next game, Game 4. But you're not. I mean, we're talking about the Florida Panthers. They're the bullies on the block. They have been. They will be until somebody knocks them off. But this is what they do. They let you gas yourself out the first few games. You think you got a chance, like the Edmonton Oilers did up at home, and then they come down to Florida and they just. I mean, when you look at the stats, just right here at the box score. I mean, not the box score, but the team stats. You would think that this game was even, right? Even, Edmonton wins in shots. Edmonton wins in hits. Face-offs won. Dead even. Power play, 11. And it's not like the Florida power play was any good. They had to resort to going to their second power play to get the first power play goal at the end of the first period. I think that was the one Verhaeghe scored. But again, total penalties, block shots. I mean, by every letter of the law, other than giveaways, the Edmonton Oilers statistically won this game. And yet you're watching the game and you're like, the Oilers can't do anything. Bobrovsky was pretty good though. But I mean, to me, when I'm watching the game, I'm like, the Florida Panthers are just mollywhopping them. Period. So we start off in period one, and that's where Brad Marchand, hold on. Wait a minute. There it is. Nope, not that one. Wait a minute. There we go. Brad Marchand, of course, it's Lundell and Listerine. I have been pounding the table for the past, I don't even know, 2 games, 3 games, but even in the last series. That third line for the Florida Panthers is giving everyone fits. And then with the Panthers having the line change option at home in Florida, who's shocked that Brad Marchand scored the first goal? Not me. I mean, and like I said, in the first period, there was just power plays everywhere, and the Panthers couldn't get it done. So they ended up going to they put the second power play unit late in the first period where Verhaeghe ended up scoring. I mean, before the game even started, they had Bam Adebayo banging the drum. So they had the old Keith Yandel, this and that, couple games ago. And so it's first period, it's 2-0. Second period, the Oilers start on the power play, and you're like, oh gosh. I mean, there's Corey Perry again with his 9th goal. I mean, holy smokes. The guy just the worm just can't stop. Great. I mean, just a great tip, just where he needs to be all the time. It's crazy. It's unbelievable. With Corey Perry. Back come the Panthers in the second, 3-1, 4-1, boom, boom, 4 minutes apart. Sam Bennett gets on the score sheet. The crazy thing about Sam Bennett is that he and Brad Marchand have scored a goal in the first 3 games of the Stanley Cup playoff. That's only been done like 3 or 4 other times, and the Panthers have 2 guys do it. One not even on their top, or maybe is Sam Bennett on the top? I can't remember. But Marchand is on their third line. So they got 2 guys that scored a goal in every single game. Sam Bennett, Brad Marchand. That's Sam Bennett is on a 4-game goal streak. He scored in 4 consecutive goals. He's got 14 in the playoffs. I mean, again, look who's got the assist. Listerine from the third line. Nuts. It's that they should give the entire playoff MVP to the third line of the Panthers if they win this thing. Marchand might get it, and then in the third period, all hell broke loose where you got Ekblad. That was a power play goal. Then another power play goal from Rodriguez, and that was just it just got ugly in the third because they basically the gloves came off. Just with 9 minutes and 30 seconds left, there were gloves and sticks laying pretty much everywhere. Check out this stat: the Panthers have scored 5+ goals, 5 or more goals, 11 times this playoff series. That's the third most in the history, and I think the other ones were back in the 80s, like the Islanders, maybe. So I don't know. I'm a New York Rangers fan, so watching the Panthers last year sucked. Just because, as a fan, I remember the Rangers. I think they were up 2-1 in the series, maybe, and it happened the same thing. You get them to overtime, and they just outgrind you. They outgrind you. That's what they do. So it's just like watching them now without a team in the fight. I'm sitting here watching, and Edmonton came out flying the first 2 games. And everybody's like, "Oh, Edmonton's, these are the 2 best teams." And then I'm just sitting here like, "This is what Panthers do. They just keep the game close. They never get blown out, and then they just slowly grind you down. They just drip water on your forehead for like 3 games, and then before you know it, you're down 6-1, and you don't look like you can do anything." And again, because they have the advantage to the line shift advantage, they could have they can put Barkov wherever Draisaitl and McDavid were. So let's check that out. By the way, let's go to time on the ice. Connor McDavid, almost 21 minutes. Leon Draisaitl, where's he at? Almost about the same. How many shots did they have? Let's see, plus minus. Where's he at? McDavid was a -1. Penalty minutes, holy smokes, Evander Kane, Kasperi Kapanen, Frederick. I love looking at this stuff. It's crazy. I mean, McDavid had what, 2 shots? Draisaitl had no shots. I mean, they just shut him down, dude. Evander Kane led him in shots, and Corey Perry. Like, those are the, I mean, no disrespect to Corey Perry and Evander Kane, but, those are not guys that you want. Like, they're not your offensive, juggernauts, I would say. So for them to get out of there without, I mean, just completely shutting down Leon Draisaitl, who's a -2, and McDavid, who's a -1, I mean, that's pretty darn good. So I don't know, but that's a tough one if you're an Oilers fan. I'll tell you that. Because like I said, I don't the oh, not that. That's not what I wanted. Power play opportunities. I mean, the Oilers were 1 for 6 on power play, and the Panthers were 3 for 11. So it's not like the power plays were cooking, I would say. I mean, the Panthers got 2 late, but it was out of hand by then. It didn't really matter. So it's just, you look at every statistic and you'd walk away being like, oh, the Oilers, wow, they really kept it close. No, they didn't. This thing wasn't even close. It never was close. So, but I don't know. I don't know. If you're an Oilers fan, are you worried? If you're an Oilers fan, are you concerned? I mean, you can't really put a lot of this on Skinner per se, just because of the way the goals were scored. You had the Marchand goal where it's just chaos in front. And then the Verhaeghe was just wide open power play goal. And then, things got out of hand. So, but yeah. If I'm the Oilers, I'm just sitting here watching from like an unbiased perspective. I'm like, the Panthers have just turned the corner. I want this thing to go 7. I don't know that it will. I don't know if the Oilers can. They act like they want to play that tough game like the Panthers do, where they want to get in there, and then you look at all the people, the players for the Panthers, when they're doing all that grinding and fisticuffs and punching each other in the face. The Panthers are like, yeah, dude, what, like, you want to play this game? Let's go. Let's do it. So, but anyways, Panthers scored, that many goals. You don't like seeing Bobrovsky only give up a goal. So, anywho, that's about all I got on hockey. I mean, we thought we were going to get a dogfight in this one because the first 2 games went to OT and then double OT. But again, Panthers are just a different animal. I'm afraid this thing's going 3-1. That's just the way I feel about it. So, all right, let's talk some baseball, shall we? Is there anything better than freaking college baseball? Like, I don't know. It's hard to watch the entire. I mean, I love watching the entire game. If you didn't, so Murray State, out of the is it the Missouri Valley Conference? I'm pretty sure. Missouri State, Ohio Valley. Sorry, the Ohio Valley Conference. I was like, I knew it was Valley, but I love this so much. I just love this so much because this playoff, this regional format with the 4 teams there, regional hosts, then to the super regionals, and it's just beautiful. It's beautiful the way it's set up, because you give the mid majors. Murray State was a 4 seed technically, and basically they're like a 16 seed. You know what I mean? Like Murray State would be like a 16 seed. They were the 4 seed. I think in the Oxford regional with Ole Miss. So, but you give a chance, you give these teams a chance, like Murray State, like Coastal, like, Wright State, who had a big win, and then, UTSA, these teams that are in, the Conference USA, that sort of stuff. And you just let them play it on the field, and they get to go up against ACC in Durham, home field advantage. Duke hadn't been to Omaha since 1961, whatever. And Murray State comes out in the first inning, leadoff guy, this Hogart, welcome to Hogwarts, Mr. Hogwarts. I mean, I don't know what his nickname is, but that should be his nickname, is Harry Potter, because the dude just gets up there first inning, first at bat, and just blasts a bomb to left field. And then he comes back and does it again. So just incredible. It was in the seventh. He homered again to tie the game. So I wrote down my notes. So what I wanted to say about Duke was, now, you'll never meet another podcast that loves football as much as we do, period. So whenever you can add football into anything, I saw that Duke, their freshman, what's his name? He was batting ninth. He had a huge game the other day. And they were throwing football before the game. Again, you're never going to meet a more football podcast, but at this point, this particular time and junction, Stephen A. Smith it, you can't be throwing football. I'm sorry. You got Omaha on the line. I mean, shout out Peyton Manning. I get it. But so this was basically, there were homers. What was it? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the 9 runs were home runs. So it was just Murray State would get out to a lead. It was 2-0, and then Duke comes back. They get 2 homers in the third and the fourth, and now they have the lead. Then you get that Hogart, Mr. Hogwarts, Harry Potter gets the home run to tie it, and then another the Mr. What's his face? Sopranos, Mistroni, homers left to take the lead, and then they get the bases loaded up, and they score another run, and then they tried to get they had bases loaded, I think, twice. Murray State did, and they couldn't get anything else other than that last run in the 8th. So, I mean, they tried to. This is the problem when you're watching these kind of mid-major, group of 5, whatever you want to call them, in these big tournaments, is usually depth shows up and is the problem whenever you're talking about making a deep run in playoffs. But you got to give credit to that dude who came in late for Murray State, because he kind of shut it down. What's his name? Kellum? Yeah, there you go. He came in and was cooking. So, but what a ball game. That leadoff bomb was crazy. I mean, this was a game where it was basically they were out there just throwing Johnny Holstaff by the end of the game. Like, we're sitting here watching the stats now, and then or the video. And so Murray State becomes the 4th 4 seed to the College World Series. They got their 44th win, which sent them to the College World Series. So 44-15. The coach was ecstatic with his son after the game. And the other 4 seeds that have made it to the College World Series were Fresno State back in, I think, 2008. They actually won the whole thing, which is the only time it's ever been done. And then Stony Brook back in 18 or 17. And then it was Oral Roberts a couple years ago, which none of those teams have had very good success, but it happens every so often. And it's just freaking incredible. And then Coach Pollard and the Duke Blue Devils, this dude I think they're 0-7 now in elimination games to get to the World Series. So, look, Coach Pollard coached at App State before he came to Duke. And so we've got there's some animosity between us and Coach Pollard. So, not to say we were rooting for Murray State, but we were rooting for Murray State. So, anywho, that's a story for another day. They get the win 5-4. And the 9th inning, right? There were 2 outs left. There's 2 outs. Duke hits into basically which should have been a double play. Bouncer to the third baseman, throws it to second in the 9th inning. So this thing should have been done. And there's 2 outs, or there was 1 out at the time. Bouncer to third base, throws it to second. The runner from Duke looks like he slides into the second baseman when he's trying to turn 2. So initially, they wave it off and say the runner impeded the throwing route. That counts as a double play. The game's over. Well, they go to the review. They do the headphones thing, and lo and behold, they overturn it. So Duke gets another chance and ends up, I think, what was it, ground ball to first base. So Duke ended up losing twice, even though they tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. So, but it was a great game. I mean, I'm so glad that we had this game. We had the Murray State game and Duke game, and then we had Stanley Cup. So Monday night was awesome. Tuesday night, we're in trouble. But Tuesday night, we can do some golf research, right? So there's all, we got the U.S. Open coming up. But I just love the way Murray State won this game just because they just kept hitting bomb after bomb after bomb, and it was just incredible. So they can hit. They proved they could hit the other day. So I think they did the reverse sweep too. They won both the last yesterday and they won today. So Arizona, oh wait, no, that wasn't game threes. What am I talking about? They had plenty of game threes. We had Arizona that had to get a game three. It's just the only one on Monday night, I guess I would say. So yeah, we had a couple of game threes. That was hey, my bad. Hand up. Whenever I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I corrected myself. So okay. I think that's all I had written down for Duke and Murray State. The only thing that was awesome. So I will say I hate seeing, having been there where you play your last game and you lose a playoff game and you're so close to going to the big dance, the granddaddy of them all. Watching the kids and the players kind of get their hearts ripped out always sucks. I hate that. I hate watching that. But, somebody's got to win and somebody's got to lose. So, but shout out to that Hogart guy who hit 2 bombs, one early to lead the game, and then one to take tie the game? I think he tied the game. Yeah, he tied the game in the 7th. So, what a game. There's nothing like it. Nothing like a late dramatic baseball game. I love it. Dad, blame it. I was going to share this one. So here you go. Here's the play. That's what I was talking about. So he hits a roller to shortstop. Sorry, flips it to second, and he looks like he gets taken out. At that point, there were 2 outs, and that was going to be the 3rd out. Murray State gets the win. It's over, and they Lee Corso him and say, "Not so fast, my friend." So they went through the whole review process. Slid in there, overtook him. Here you go. Here's another look at it. Boom, on the bag, coming across. Guy hits his foot, slid into him. Called him out originally, and then no. Doesn't matter. Murray State ended up winning. So here is what the College World Series looks like. I love this. So you've got your 2 SEC schools. Thank goodness they're playing each other. So we'll get one of them out early. Get them out of here. Then you've got a Sun Belt team, a Big 12 team, a Big 10 team, an independent or Pac-12 or whatever you want to call it, and then you've got an ACC and then an Ohio Valley. So all of this BS where they put in 13 teams from the SEC, best conference, blah, 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 blah. They let them play it out. Guess what? It didn't matter. Stack the deck, whatever. Let them play the games, and you get a beautiful bouquet, an arrangement of College World Series baseball, and it's glorious, right? So you're going to have what's hilarious is look at these 3 teams right here: Arizona, Oregon State, UCLA. That's 3 of the old Pac-12 schools, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? That's 3 of the old Pac-12 schools. So really what you had is 2 group of 5 teams with the Sun Belt and the Ohio Valley. So we'll count them as Ohio of group of 5. 3 Pac-12, an ACC, and 2 SEC. So let's not act like the SEC is the big bad person on the block. Get out of here. So there you have it. There's the College World Series. I'm done. So what a great game. I love it. I love sports. I hope we get 7 games with the Stanley Cup. I don't know that it's going to go that way. I really don't. I don't think it is, but hey, look, ladies and gentlemen, we had just put out a new podcast for your audio version. yesterday. Well, today. Go search the Millie Goats. Go hit a little 5-star on the podcast. Subscribe to the podcast. We're going to be doing recaps of the U.S. Open. Those will be out every day for podcasts. Going to talk golf. But we also, we do our normal show twice a week. It's right there on the screen. Mondays, Thursdays is when the podcast comes out. It's available everywhere. Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, Good Pods, wherever you find your podcast. Just type in the Millie Goats Sports Podcast, and we are there. And come follow us on social medias, where we basically people just yell at us because they think we're being they're taking us too seriously. Let's just put it that way. It's not that serious. We're just joking 99% of the time. Yeah. We're just trying to enjoy talking sports. We want to bring everybody along for the ride. All right. That's it. I'll see you guys Wednesday night. Maybe special interview. We'll see. Have a good Tuesday.